This is Donnie bringing our weekly Bible reading devotional as we read the epistles of John together, finishing First John this week and reading 2nd and 3rd John as well. I love how John opens his letter, First John. We read it last week where he talks about how the one who was from the beginning, we have seen him. We've looked on him. We touched him. Our hands handled him. Now John is opening his letter that way because there's a teaching going around that, well, maybe Jesus wasn't really a man. Maybe he just appeared to be a man. Because we know he's God, and maybe it's beneath God to become human. And so John writes this to say, no, we saw him, we touched him, we looked on him. I heard at a conference this last year, a scholar, her way of capturing what John's saying here, she said the apostles would have responded to this kind of teaching and said, "What are you talking about? We saw him pee behind a bush. He was a man." And you're going to see as you read into 1 John and then into 2 John this week, you're going to see John highlighting how anyone who doesn't believe Jesus really came in the flesh, that he was a man, they're not of God. This was a big deal for John because if we lose the humanity of Jesus, we lose our salvation. That's what's at stake here. So Jesus, who is fully God, joined himself with our humanity in order to join us back to God. That's the gospel. The early church talked about it like this. They said, he became what we are so that we might become as he is. This is the idea that John wants us to get. Behold, he says in chapter 3, what manner of love the Father has lavished on us that we should be called children of God. We know when he appears, we will be like him, for we will see him as he is. Jesus didn't reject our humanity or exalt himself above it, but he took it on himself so that he could redeem it and so that he could take us, human beings, back into the presence of God, united to God once more. This is the gospel. This is what's at stake in Jesus being fully God and fully man. And so I hope that gives you some context as you're reading these letters for what John wants us to get and why it's so important to know that Jesus, yes, he is God and he is also man. And in the beauty of his God-man joining of those natures together, we find rescue. What a Savior we have. What manner of love the Father has lavished on us. I'll see you next week.